God in the untruthfulness, hatefulness, and ugliness of evil. It must never attribute evil to the intention of God. As we see in the miracles of Jesus, God is against suffering. In the person of Jesus, he has assaulted it. Whenever we see Jesus and suffering together, we see him undoing it. We therefore have no warrant for saying that suffering is ever divinely desired or intended. Theologically, that impugns the goodness and love of God. Pastorally, that makes God a suffering or grieving person's enemy. Psychologically, it forces us to twist our minds into accepting that bad is actually good. This book is a plea to present God as the healer and never the inflictor of our pain. It is thus a book of pastoral wisdom and love, of autobiographical honesty and vulnerability, of artistic sensitivity and passion, of human gentleness and compassion. Above all, perhaps, it is a book of wonderful warmth, and it inspires me to greater creativity, homeliness, and holiness in what Sarah calls the ordinary of life. Michael Lloyd. Beautiful or Broken? The Rival Stories of the World. "Listen to me," cried Simi with extraordinary emphasis. "Shall I tell you the secret of the whole world? It is that we have only known the back of the world. We see everything from behind, and it looks brutal. That is not a tree, but the back of a tree. That is not a cloud, but the back of a cloud. Can you not see that everything is stooping and hiding a face? If we could only get round in front." G.K. Chesterton, The Man Who Was Thursday. Swift, swift, the flit and leap of the butterfly and my headlong chase after her through the dry grass in the high summer heat. Again and again I thought my hands would gently close on her fragile wings, but always the little buckeye disappeared. I would crouch and wait until suddenly the earth somewhere near me would seem to slip apart in a flash of orange and azure as my butterfly leapt from the ground to lead the chase afresh. I ran breathlessly, after tireless taut, and wildly joyous in a way that defied my 9-year-old vocabulary to express. I had butterfly mania that summer. My family had just moved to a new home in the far reaches of Texas Hill Country. We lived with my grandmother on 200 acres of cedar and dry grass, casually named the ranch, the name much fancier than the place. In our first days, we children had been strictly warned not to venture too casually into the fields, where all sorts of critters awaited us: rattlesnakes and copperheads, fire ants, hornets' nests, and the teensy pests called chiggers that had already left angry patterns of crimson and itching bumps across my legs. I obeyed until early one morning in our first month, when I discovered a dewy-winged marvel of a creature in my grandmother's garden, all midnight black and iridescent blue, with circles of white that glimmered up at me like eyes. I ran in fiery excitement to get my grandmother, and, "Oh, it's a swallowtail," she said nonchalantly, as if this creature, like a tiny seraph or fairy queen from the realm of myth, was a matter of the everyday. She marched inside and pulled an old Audubon guide off the shelf. It became my obsessive study as I immersed myself in the world of tiger and spicebush swallowtails, fritillaries and buckeyes, painted ladies, and that rare blue ghost, the Diana. The names, the rare, gleaming colors seemed to open an other world of beauty that made me hungry for something I couldn't name. That hunger drew me past caution or even guilt, which, as a first child, I was so very quick to heed, into the crackle and whirl of the yellow light, the searing heat, and the grasshopper symphony of the summer fields. That particular day, I didn't even realize how far I'd run as I chased my buckeye through the fields. I was drawn farther and farther up and into the golden world, the next hillock of grass, the next stand of squat, brown cedars, until my breath ran out. I remember sinking to the dirt then, knees knobbled by the pebbles, laughing after my 5th attempt.